We are back with another episode of Middle Age Mamas. The gang is here. Camila, Dawn, and Nakia are back again to chat it up with you guys, and also to say thank you so much to our new subscribers.
Oh yeah.
Do you know, girls, we're big in Canada? So hello, Canada.
Hi.
Australia, I saw on there.
Oh,
Ireland,
wow.
Israel. There's quite a few interesting places that have found us on the audio circuit. So shout out to all of our audio listeners. I'm an audio listener of the podcast, so I get it. I don't necessarily need to see people's faces.
I like to see people's faces.
Yeah.
I like to see the
Yeah,
reactions.
YouTube fluctuates, but now the audio podcast has taken off. So shout out to all you guys, and hello.
Thank you.
So let's start with some highs and lows. I have a little bit of both. My high is I just celebrated my birthday.
Yay.
I am 48 years old. And it's so crazy because people don't let you enjoy the end of your 40s.
What do you mean?
It's like every time you tell someone you're 48, they're like, oh, here comes 50. Or
yeah.
especially my daughter, every second, she's like, how's it feel to be almost 50? I'm like, can I enjoy 48? I still get to enjoy 48, and I'm not by any means like, oh, 50. But I want to enjoy 48 and 49 before I get to 50. So, but people thrust you into 50.
Yeah.
I think as soon as you pass 47.
Really? I don't remember.
You don't remember? Oh yeah, it was a while for you guys.
Wow. It wasn't that long
I'm
ago.
48 still.
Look, as I'm
Not
saying.
that long ago.
I'm the same age as you.
Oh yeah, we're the same age right now, huh?
Right.
For a couple of months. That's
For a
fun.
couple months, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not even a full year older than me.
No.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So we spent, my birthday always lands over Memorial Day weekend, so we spent time with the family at the lake, and then came home, and it was just chill, but pleasant nonetheless. My low is, so over, when you do your annual testing and checkup and all that stuff, medically, I do all my testing over like 2 or 3 months. So I found out I have a thyroid issue, which I had in my 20s, but it's back.
Oh, it comes and goes? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it can with thyroid. When in early 20s, I had hypothyroid. Hyperthyroid. And then after kids, it kind of went away. Now it's back, and it's supposed to be the skinny one where you drop a ton of weight. That's supposed to be that's supposed to be the side effects. I'm like, where's the skinny part? So yeah, I found out I have a thyroid problem, which is not that big of a deal. You have medication, but the medication I think is giving me a funky eye twitch. I think that's what it is. Ever since I started taking it, my eye just is like twitching, like where my eyelashes are. It's just like every.
Are you sure it's just something that you just noticed and it hasn't just been going on, or
no? That has happened over like the last 10 years, depending on my hormones or blood pressure or whatever.
The eye or the thyroid?
No, the eye.
Oh.
But ever since I started this thyroid medication, I feel it like, and then earlier.
Can you see it?
Yes, that's what I was getting to. Earlier today, I was talking to parents at my daughter's volleyball tournament and started twitching. I was like, oh,
Show me
dang.
how it twitches.
I can't make it do it. It'll do it.
This?
No, when it does it, I'll show you.
Now we're
I'll
gonna
point
be
I'll point it out. But I didn't know that you can see it. And I asked Abby, I said, Abby, can you see this right now? And she was like, yes. What is it?
Oh my
like, my
goodness.
eyes twitching.
Oh.
That's my welcome to 48, my little funky eye twitch. But
Well, my eye has been twitching for the last couple of days, but Leslie, my cousin, who is a nurse, said that it's because I'm tired. It
maybe.
twitches under here, and you can see it.
Yeah.
It's not twitching now. Maybe because I got some rest.
Yeah, I don't know. It goes on and off. It probably will happen in this episode, and I'll point it out.
I'm gonna be looking.
for my eye twitch. So
I'm
yeah,
looking
that's my high and my low. What you got, Dawn?
So mine also is around a birthday. My daughter turned 18.
Oh, we have one minor now.
Yes, yeah. So it was very exciting.
Oh, 18 is officially an adult.
Technically.
Technically, like in the United
Definitely
States.
in their minds
Yeah.
as well. the teenagers.
Okay. Wait till she asks you for some money.
Oh, already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she turned 18, and another high with that was that she also got her driver's license.
Oh, did she get it?
She
Congratulations,
did.
Morgan.
She did. I took her to get her test after school.
How many times did she take the test?
Just once.
Good for her.
Just once.
That's good.
Yes.
I took that thing twice.
Oh my! It was. I think I took it twice also.
I took it once.
Yeah, she got it in the first try, so I was very excited about that.
But now they make you do so many things. You can't just go sign up for your permit. You have to take like 30-hour online course, then go take the permit, then have more hours. How long was the process?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Did you sign her up for driving school? I mean,
She
you have
did.
to do that, right?
She did.
It's mandatory in the state of California,
Yeah,
right?
she did that prior to getting her permit. She was able to do some things online first, and then typically you're supposed to have your permit for 6 months before you
Take the
take the
test?
driving test.
Oh.
But because she turned, it's either for 6 months or until you're 18. So I think she was only 5 months in with her permit.
So you have to wait till you're 18 to take your driver's test?
Or you
No.
wait 6 months with the permit. So let's say she was 16. So my other daughter got her permit when she was 15 and a half.
You wait
And
6
then her
months.
her 6 months was when she turned 16. So
Oh,
she
okay.
got her permit, she got her driver's license at 16.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this time, this daughter waited until she was 17, but then she would have had to either have her permit for 6 months or until she turned 18. So she probably had the permit maybe for 5 months, but then
Oh,
her
she got to
birthday
do it.
came first, so she was able to take her test.
I didn't remember all the rules. All I know is I was driving at 17.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
changed because we didn't have to do the
We have to
online
do the
thing
online, but you
before
have to
you
do
get your
the
permit.
driving
You could just
class,
go and
though.
sign up for your permit.
But you had to do the behind the wheel driving, like with some.
At
Yeah, to
school.
get your
at
driver's
school. I
license.
went
But
to
now they
normal
have.
driving school.
Me too. I think they make you do stuff before you even get your permit, which I guess
I think that's important.
in the grand scheme of things, is good. Slow them down a little bit.
Yeah. So those were two highs, but then I guess the low is that now I have another teen on the road to worry about.
Yeah.
And so she's already been going out, and so I'm sleeping a little
Whose
less.
car is she driving?
Martin has
You have a plethora of cars.
Oh, we have a ton of cars.
You guys know, because I know Martin has his fun car, right? And then you have
he has
your.
multiple fun cars.
Oh,
but
he does?
Yes, he does.
He's a car enthusiast.
He
Oh, I
has
didn't know that.
multiple, and he recently added another one. But he had an
Aside
older,
from the Corvette?
yeah, he had an older Mercedes E-Class, like a 90 something. So
Oh, you guys
she's-
let her drive that.
So she's driving that, and
Okay.
even that, she was like, was this?
That's
I
a
can't help
perfect
myself.
test drive
I
car.
would have loved to have had that as my first car, but she's like,
And she's
was
complaining.
this like a cool car to have back in the day?
It's a Mercedes.
I was
And
like,
it's not a bad
girl,
style.
It's super
It's
cool.
the big boxy one.
It's super cool. Like I
Aren't
love
they still
driving
kind
it.
of boxy? Some of them are. Like
Yeah.
the E and the C class?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what are the
Wow.
rules for an 18-year-old behind the wheel? Give it to us.
I have no idea.
You don't? She can just ask for the keys and go?
Oh, your
Oh,
personal
you mean our
rules.
personal rules?
Yeah, how do you guys
that
do
she still needs to. I mean, she's only been 18 for 2 days, but that she still needs to let us know what she's doing, ask permission. I handed her the keys, like, hey, this is yours at least for now.
Right.
And so it's been a relief because she was one of those kids that she wanted you to take her everywhere. And then as soon as she get there, she's like, "Oh, I'm not having fun. Come pick me up." And
So
she
you
was
have to come back
she
for
was
it.
one of those kids. Or come pick me up. I'm gonna be here, and then you're halfway there, and she's like, "Oh no, actually I'm somewhere else." Or can you get me a little later? So it was always it was never easy, But I'm looking forward to not needing to drive her to school because
Is she
I
a
Oh,
safe
right.
driver?
And that's a
she's
whole
not-
different part of town
she's
for
gonna
you.
be able to.
So is she going to take landed and then.
You can't.
No.
Oh, because.
Well, for one, they don't go to the same school,
Right.
and they start school at different times. So no, she's not gonna take. She doesn't need to take her brother. I don't even think he's willing to get to drive.
She doesn't drive bad, does she?
That's funny.
No, she's a good driver.
But he's like, you're new. You need a little experience
She's
before I feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Have you seen those memes of the kids in the back of the car all scared because their sibling is learning how to drive?
No.
It's very
funny.
scary. He's even scared with Maya, and she's been driving for years.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. So that's, my high and my low. I'm excited for her. I'm happy for the relief of being, a chauffeur.
Yeah.
But it's still, I still worry.
Yeah. That's a big milestone now.
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Kudos
is.
to Morgan.
Yes.
Good for her.
Very excited.
What you got, Camila?
Wow.
You
First I
about to
got
sing?
the song, the frog in my throat. First of all, no. So my high was I have a couple of highs. Well, just two. We went to the lake with you and your family, and we had a good time. It was really peaceful, and I kind of needed that break, to kind of loose off, and reset. And coming down that mountain was kind of scary. I hate driving up and down those mountains. But that was a high. And then another high is my mother is on a trip to Australia, or she's in Australia. And I'm glad she's getting a chance to see the world and experience a different country.
And a long trip too.
Yeah, she's gonna be gone for she's finished with the first week. She has 2.5 more weeks to go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a part land, and then they're cruising. Two of my aunts she's with, and the low part about that is that
your separation anxiety.
She's just been gone for such a long time.
I knew that was
I've never been without my mother for that amount of time.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just realized dang, I feel like I am kind of dependent on her. It's kind of weird.
Sweet.
It's kind of weird.
But you've spoken to her since she's been gone.
Yes, but
just going to her house and her being
not
there.
even
stuff
so
like
much that. It's just you don't realize how much you are attached to your parents until you can't do something. Like before my father passed away, and I would speak to him when I was even living in Atlanta. I would speak to him every day, every day, at a certain time. And when he got sick, it was like an abrupt, cut off of the conversation. And after that, one time that he got sick, I never talked to him again. It was just cut off, gone. And then he, after so long, he was in a coma, and then he passed away. And then this, I still talk to her, but when I drop Dean off at school in the morning, sometimes I call her, and she'll say, what's going on for your day, and I'll tell her this and tell her that, and then hang up.
That's your chat time.
Yes, but you just don't realize how much you are attached and connected to your parents until they're not around. You're not able to talk to them, and and so one more low is that I also went to my nephew's graduation. Was it 2 weeks ago now? And two of my tires were bad, so I went across the street because one of them was leaking and about to just go out. And so I got about 2 tires, and one of the tires was able to come off, but the other one is stuck on there because someone who put the tire on before put the thing on too tight.
Oh, wow.
And you can't unlock it with the tire lock. It's so hard to come off. So now I'm driving around with 3 decent tires, 1 bad tire.
Wait, can't you go to the dealership? They'll do it.
Well, I was trying to go to a regular tire place because I have the new tire that I bought in the trunk of my car because my car doesn't come with a spare because it came with run flats when I bought it.
Oh yeah,
But
that's what I use
for
the run
BMWs,
flat.
yeah. And so because I bought this new tire, I didn't want to have to go to the dealership and get another tire because I didn't think that they were going to put a random tire from somewhere else, even though it's new, on the car at the dealership. I thought that I would have to buy a brand new BMW tire, and I was trying to avoid that, but it's probably.
But they can they can use the tire that you have, but just unlock your tire at the dealership. They can do that.
I think they were saying something like they're going to have to break it off the tire lock. I don't know, but I was so sick of that car over the last week. And so now I have to figure out a day where I have to go to the dealership and try to see if they can take the tire off and then put my random new tire
back on.
Yes, not back on.
Oh.
Because it's a new tire. But that's my dilemma, because I'm hoping that they'll put a tire that they didn't get, that I didn't buy from them.
Yeah, I think that because the other tire is locked, they have to help you get that tire off no matter what tire it is, because it's locked on there. And that's
I'm
the.
also going to have to pay for it. I was trying to avoid
Just
paying.
give him a little wink.
I'm giving my twitching tire eye. I'm driving around with that damn tire on my car.
Oh my goodness.
Next time I'm going to end with highs. Not lows.
Well, let's air all our gripes.
Right.
Because I just came from my daughter's tournament, her volleyball tournament, 2 hours away to play 3 games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They won, but the time that we had to be there was 7:15 in the morning, so we were up at 5:15. I'm like, these clubs are popping up all over the place, and I feel like it's kind of getting out of control.
You do?
I
Volleyball
do.
Clubs?
All of them. AAU, like, it just seems like every year it's more and more money. It's more money to get in. More money to
probably
park.
Because they're going, definitely that, but they're probably going to more places too, because you never know the level of competition. If it's like going up, if they're getting better, if they got more players.
No, I think the popularity of it has gotten, people are starting to get money hungry, the organizations. That's just my take on it, because they're all over the place, and you don't have to, I saw me and my memes, but I saw another meme like, oh, call the police, I'm being robbed. I drove 4 hours, paid for a hotel, paid $60 to get in for my child to play the neighbor.
We had tournaments today too. The entry fee went up by $2, so we paid $17, and the tournament fees have gone up from $40 to $45.
Right, and don't you feel like you should at least be able to watch one parent watch?
At least get in there for a half off, since my son is playing.
Yes, something.
Paying all that doggone money.
Something. It feels like they're just getting.
I mean, I don't mind paying, but why do I always have to pay $15 every day? Like, why can't I pay $15 for the whole tournament? I mean,
exactly. That's my point. It should at
kid.
least be one parent that gets to watch, and all the other people pay.
Or one parent pay full price and the other one pay half. Like some you should be able to get some kind of discount
for your kid playing in these tournaments every year, because you're playing every weekend almost.
Thank God we didn't pay for the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I think we're back on it. And then we're going to Vegas in July.
Right, to play the neighbor.
Well, kind of.
That's what I'm talking about. We need an AAU union. But I think also, and shout out to all the volunteers and all the people who spend their time to develop these kids. I'm not trying to knock that, but I do think that they get excited because people want to see their kids succeed and do well, and they think that all their promises are going to be fulfilled,
well, a lot
or
of
dreams
people are
fulfilled.
starting to complain about AAU, just the entire system, especially basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about like the parents and how they interact with each other while their kids are on the court. Like today, like 2 or 3 fights almost broke out between parents on
for the young kids too.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Them dads was about to go at one of the parents cussed out the referee and threw a ball the referee threw a ball at the parent because the parent was cussing him out. Like,
I've never seen anything like that.
That was the first time I've seen that, but yeah.
I've
only seen it online, but today I saw it in person. Yes. Today I witnessed it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, somebody, the police, I think, were like waiting on the outside because it looked like they were just about to carry it outside. But at the end, I did see that the dads were, talked it out, and they shook each other's hand, and then,
oh, good. You have to do that for your kids. You can't.
I mean,
it's not that serious, first of all, especially for your age group. They're not about to be recruited right now.
No, but those kids play hard.
I know, but not to the point where the parents need to be all acting crazy.
When you
that's a horrible example for your kid.
The call has been a bad call, or if somebody pushes
out of your bags,
right? your kid, push your kid down, or
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
a rough game.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, because those kids, they're young, but they're big. Some of those kids are big, and they play bully ball.
Mhm.
So
Bully ball.
yes, they rough. They're
Oh, yeah.
rough.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it ain't.
Yeah, speaking of that, have you seen Caitlin Clark's her debut?
I saw it.
It's been a
No.
whole
I haven't
thing
been
too
following.
about
I like it. I'm happy for them.
yeah, it's
I'm
been a
very
whole
happy
thing
for
too
them.
about
But
people
not
roughing
just
her
I
up.
love Angel
Mm.
Reese. I love Angel Reese. I like how she plays. She's very like tough. She's I like her game.
Yeah, I haven't followed it that much, but I did see where they were talking about how people are being so rough with her. But I don't know if that's a rookie thing or because she's
I
got
think it's
all
probably
this.
part of it. I think
Yeah.
they're probably giving her the business because she just got there.
Kind of
Especially
hazing her a
Caitlin.
bit.
Yeah.
Especially Caitlin.
Yeah,
But I think that they don't give Angel Reese enough, and some other rookies, they don't give them enough, like highlight them enough.
yeah.
Just because Caitlin, I think it has to do with her race, and because they're highlighting her for that, and like
Yeah.
she's like the best thing since sliced bread.
But
she
I
didn't
think
win
her
the
stats
championship.
back it up.
So do the other chicks.
No, but I think she's like ranked higher. She was like #1 draft pick and all that stuff.
Well, she
But-
was the #1 draft pick, but are
Yeah.
you talking about her college stats?
Yeah,
I know I can't really speak to that.
yeah. I think it's more about that. But no matter how well she does, it will pay off for everybody else. You know,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they're hoping.
because
But I
it's
think
definitely
they were
have people
all
talking
good.
about it.
They're all very good. I mean, you can't. Even the women playing WNBA, they are some of the best women, players, basketball players in the world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you can't discount them just because Caitlin is
Right.
#1 draft.
But she's
pick.
made a lot of eyes come to the WNBA.
Yeah. So you can credit her with that.
Yeah.
She's helping them get the looks because all of them, the viewership and the attendance has
all
gone up like hundreds, some in thousands.
Yeah, because I think they went from 3,000 seats sold to like 10,000
Yeah.
for
Oh,
for
wow.
her.
Yeah, multiple. Yeah, in a couple of venues.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for
But
them.
shout out to the WNBA.
Yeah.
Okay, so school is officially out.
No,
No, not for us.
we got 1 more week. A week and 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
What are your plans for summer with these kiddos? How you gonna keep them busy?
Ooh.
Dean's going to summer school. I signed him up.
The entire school? I mean, the entire summer?
I think it's only 4 weeks.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What's it
like
gonna
from
take?
June 20th to like July 17th or something like that.
What's it gonna take?
Math and English.
At the same school?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. I think he needs to learn how to be a student. He doesn't carry, and to his credit, they do a lot of work online
Mm-hmm.
on the computer, but you still need to take a pencil to school. You still need to take a pen. You still need to take a folder.
Oh yeah, especially because he should be taking notes by now.
He should be.
Yeah, I think junior
He should
high is
be.
when you start taking a lot of notes for test taking.
He should be.
Yeah.
But he's not.
But they
Not
might-
like he should.
Do they type the notes out for his age?
You know what? So some teachers type the notes out for them, and then there are times when he needs to take notes, and he'll write something down, but not like the extensive notes that he needs to take.
Yeah.
So sometimes when he has to do work at home, he's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, do you take notes? No. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he needs to learn those skills. So I'm not mad that he's going to summer school.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with summer school.
Yeah, he's mad, but who cares?
It's a part of being a parent, making
Yeah.
those decisions of what they need
Absolutely.
and executing it, and they'll thank you later.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So-
What you got done? What are you guys doing this summer?
Well, since I have 2 adults,
Working?
Yes. One is home. She has her internship, so she's working, and my birthday girl has a job too. So
Where does she work?
she hasn't started yet, but she's going to be working at a summer camp.
Oh,
for
nice.
kids.
Oh, good.
In LA or
Is
out
she
in
gonna
LA?
do
Out
some
here.
artsy fartsy
Out
stuff?
here, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So she has her. They both have their jobs. My son will be doing basketball, of
Yeah.
course.
And speaking of that, okay, so the kids are out of school. All my kids play sports.
Mm-hmm.
These practices are in the middle of the day. Well,
Right.
football is from 2 to 5 o'clock. I'm like, how are working parents supposed to get their kids to a 2:00 practice?
Right.
I can pick them up, but 2:00 it's impossible.
Are they doing Uber yet?
Yes, that's what we've resorted to because
Mm-hmm.
how else am I supposed to get them there? And thank God there's two of them
Mm-hmm.
where I feel a little bit more comfortable because they're both in there. And
I find a lot of kids do Uber. Even at Dean's school,
Mhm.
after school, I see a couple of kids, they wait on Ubers to take them home after school.
yeah, I mean,
And
I figured that was a better
I don't
option
love that
than the
idea.
bus.
I wouldn't love that for me.
Yeah.
But, I guess it has to be an option, like if you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other way.
I mean, unless you work from home, I don't even know how these other kids are doing it.
I know.
For our basketball kids, it's 9 to 11. So 9:00, you can get them there.
Or it was like 7 to 9.
Yeah.
One day it was 7 to 9.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
are you
It's
supposed to
so
do?
basketball. in the
Summer
morning.
league. Yeah.
But like during the week, they're out of school already, and so then you have working parents
Yeah.
who how are you supposed to get there?
So it's just practice. They're not
It's
like
just practice.
scrimmaging.
It's just
No,
practice
the
for
games
now.
are going to come in 2 weeks or so.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
even when their games start up, it's going to be practice the same random hour.
Mm.
So shout out to all the working parents trying to figure out how to get their kids to and fro that aren't driving yet because it is a
Right.
challenge.
Yes, and then trying to have some fun in between there.
Yeah.
I did take part of my daughter's birthday gift was we did a girls trip last week. We went to Phoenix, went back to home for them. They were both born there. So they were able to see their friends and have sleepovers, and how we were just talking about sleepovers.
Did they go?
So, yeah.
Where did you stay? Where'd you
I
stay?
stayed in a hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, and my older daughter was with me, but she was out and she was hanging with her friends. And I planned on being out. Like I was going to go to church, I was going to go to a graduation brunch, I was going to do all these things. I did get my hair braided out there, and I think that was probably one of the reasons I wasn't up for much because my head was hurting the next day. But we did get a chance to see the grandparents and my dad and my husband's parents are still out there. So we already got one trip in. I did that with the girls. My son had an ear infection, so he stayed home with his dad. And but now I need to do something for him. I need to do a mommy son trip.
Yeah, trying to balance it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe go up to the Bay and visit my brother and his boys. But something, and then my husband and I too need to do a trip, and I'm taking a trip next week to see going up to Oakland for a friend's birthday. So I'm just trying to get in some little trips. Oh, and this summer I'm going to take my daughter back to school when she goes back to Howard.
That's fun.
She is getting her own apartment
Ooh.
for her senior year.
Just by herself?
Yes,
Solo?
she's not going to have any roommates.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's going to be her senior year.
Christ.
So I'm going to.
I feel like that went by so
It
fast.
did.
It really did.
It's her senior year, so she's being rewarded with her own apartment.
Listen, do you know the graduation for Howard last year? It was a largest graduating class.
Oh, wow.
I think they had over 1,200 students that graduated, 1,250 students or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and they've been getting a ton of applicants as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited. I'll go with her and help her decorate.
Yeah.
And, buy
Does she know where
furniture
she
and all
wants to
that
stay
stuff.
already?
Oh, Shirley has her place. Shirley has her place. And they're doing so much gentrification near Howard. And they have these really nice new apartments. And
How close is
really
she to
cute.
the Capitol? It's not close at all, is it?
I don't think she's far.
Okay.
I don't think she's far to like all of the stuff. She's not far. Yeah.
Wow, thinking about her being in her senior year, 4 years goes by very fast.
So
And
fast.
Brandon Christian just graduated 8th grade, entering high school.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking these 4 years, well, Guy and I have already done one, so it's like bam, bam, bam.
Right.
It's scary, I think, just how fast time goes.
Yeah. Then they'll be out the house, and I'll be ready to have my midlife crisis with my empty nester. I mean, what am I gonna do?
Who's gonna take out the trash?
Yeah. Well, no, my house definitely will be a lot
my
cleaner.
goodness.
So once they
Yes.
all skedaddle, but
Yes.
Quiet.
yeah.
But I mean, they still come home. At least you want.
Yeah,
them to
and we've
come
been
home.
talking about,
you know.
when they go off to college or whatever they decide to do, if they
Yeah.
want to go to the military or get a job or get drafted, who knows?
Right.
That they'll come home for holidays.
Mhm.
And last year we weren't home for the holidays, and the kids were like, it just doesn't feel the same when you're not at home for Christmas. So I was like, oh, okay, that means you'll always come home for Christmas.
Yeah. That's
So
sweet.
yeah. But do women have midlife crisis? What do you guys think?
I wonder about that, and I've been thinking about it. I was even talking to a friend about it yesterday. Like, what does that look like? Because I think when you see it happening with men, it's pretty obvious. They start working out, they buy sports cars, they get a new young wife. Like it's pretty obvious when a man is going. And sometimes it's kind of ridiculous. They start, dyeing their hair, all kind of stuff that's very
like crazy changes.
Yeah, and it's very obvious. But I don't think we really talk about that with women. Like, what does that look like? I feel like all we talk about is menopause.
Yeah, that's true.
And so is that like, but you see women in middle-aged women, you do see things happening like major job changes, different hairstyles. I remember when I was a kid, my mom, who had just this beautiful curly hair, and I just loved her hair so much as a kid, she woke me up one morning and she had gotten a mohawk and a nose ring. And I was in the bed and she pulled the cover.
Mohawk?
I mean, it was a mohawk. No.
Or was she edgy like that? She just one day.
No.
Wow.
No, I think she was trying to. I think that's who she was on the inside. But she had 5 kids, and she was.
That's a good point.
I felt like was this her time? I think about it now. And I just remember that morning, I pulled the sheet back over my face. Like, this has got to be a nightmare. Like, what are you doing? Like, a nose ring and a mohawk. And this was back in the 80s, so it wasn't.
So you were still young.
I was young, but I just felt like, when women make drastic changes like that, like, what is it about? Is it about, or getting a divorce, or maybe being married to a man and now you're dating women.
Or getting an OnlyFans page.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Like
or you see very drastic things happening. Or maybe a woman who hadn't been in shape for a long time going out and getting her body together and like looking really good, but then taking it to extreme, like a lot of plastic. So, what does that look like? I think maybe with celebrities, if I think about it, that beautiful women that had they let themselves age gracefully and naturally would have been really pretty. But then some of them, I'm thinking about like Demi Moore, who went and like did some really drastic
She doesn't
plastic
We're trying
surgery.
to keep that youth going.
or even Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, I'm imagining all of that stuff that she was going through, even with her plastic surgery and things with her.
Oh, has she had plastic surgery?
She had major. She got major like cheek implants and different things.
But it just looks like her face is full now.
Yeah, she took some of this stuff out. But
she still looks nice.
She also did some major drastic stuff. So like, during those times when you see that happening with women, is anybody ever saying like, oh, she's having a midlife crisis? Or is it like, oh, she must be going through menopause, she's going through the change? Like, I just wonder, is that
I feel like
conversation
when people
that you're
go
having,
through, when they talk about them going through menopause, it's always like, they're getting fluffy or they're bitchy.
Or they're having hot flashes.
Yeah, it's never like sexy stuff. Like, I'm going through menopause. I'm going to have a sexy menopause.
But Don just made a good point. We just made a really good point. Maybe the midlife crisis for women is something that they always had inside, a person that they always wanted to be. But because they had children, or they were married and they were trying to hold something together, and not try to freak their kids out or flip the script too much. They suppressed it until a certain time where they could like freely express themselves, and it wouldn't really
disrupt stuff.
It wouldn't disrupt stuff so much.
Yeah, but not everybody experiences that. Some people just keep going with the flow.
And maybe it's not a crisis so much as it's a freedom, or that you're going back and chasing some dreams that you have, as opposed to this is a crisis. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, a beautiful new friend of mine, and she just graduated from USC with her doctorate, and she had her first child really young. She has 3 children. She's married, but she felt like this was something like every decision she has made since first having her first child has been based on somebody else taking care of every decision she was making, as far as, and I know I mentioned this before, even being an educator so that you're on the same schedule as your kids.
Yeah, you have to do stuff like that.
Yes, so every decision she's made, absolutely, it's been for her children, it's been for her family. She hasn't taken time to be selfish and do something. And so during the pandemic, she went back to school, like to her dream school, to USC, and she got her doctorate. And so she was saying this is the first time that in her adult life that she made a decision based on just something that she's always wanted to do, that she was passionate about, that didn't have anything to do with someone else.
Right.
And I think maybe that may be more what happens with women, is that we put so much of our dreams, our desires,
everything you put on your back.
Everything, we certainly carry everything, but we also sometimes put things on hold. And I know we've talked a lot about, can you have it all? I think we've come to the consensus that no, you can't, but that you can have it at different times.
Right. And you should go back and you should pursue those things.
Yes, just like how we're doing this now, in our middle age. And so I think there's a lot of value and wisdom that comes with age, especially women. So you don't necessarily see us going off doing wild kind of irresponsible stuff. Maybe some people, but I think for women it's more about this is a dream that I've always had, and I want to make sure that I make time for this, because otherwise you become resentful. At least
old and bitter.
So. Yes. So I think it's interesting. I've certainly, when you were asking about my husband and his cars, I always like, okay, midlife crisis car coming out.
But that's a mild, if you want to call it crisis. You can call that a hobby.
But I think a lot of times people use that as an excuse too.
What?
To just make a crappy choice and call it a midlife crisis.
Sometimes he would never call it a midlife crisis. I don't think he would.
No, not Martin. I'm saying some men doing something raggedy and be like, "Oh, I'm having a midlife crisis." And like, no, you're not. You're just making a horrible decision, and you're blaming it on. It's a midlife crisis. So it's a slippery slope with the whole terminology midlife crisis, because sometimes.
That's the time. That's the time when you see men just doing crazy
like, what
stuff.
age is that though? What age is that?
I think it's probably also like this same, when there have been different things that I've read about like middle age for women, and it would say 40 to 60. But then I read something recently that said 35. Is where it would start. So I think for men it's probably within that same age range. 40 to 60.
Well, I think it's like they're buckled down. Like, they're no longer, like Catherine said, the hottest person in the room. And, the young bucks come out.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Things like that. Or competition at work.
Yeah.
Because, again, aging, if you focus on it, it can really, like, it's a slight kind of turn off, getting older. Because when you think about all that comes with, getting old, not being as virile, and, sagging skin, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was sitting behind his dad today, and his whole head was white. Oh,
Really?
and I was just mesmerized by it. It wasn't gray, and that's why I was mesmerized. Because you know, you think of gray hair, but his head. I mean, he was probably 20 years older than me, but his hair was straight like snow white.
And
I was
just
like,
think of that, looking at yourself in the mirror and remembering when you had a full head of black, blonde, full head of hair.
Yeah,
and
for
then,
a man, you mean?
Yeah, whoever.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a couple of years later, you start seeing the white and the gray pepper in until it's like completely covered.
Yeah.
You know, those types of things, and then you're not being as strong as you used to be.
Right.
You
But
know.
sometimes I look at people that aren't as melanin as we are, and I'm like, wow, like it's very drastic sometimes.
Yes.
If you haven't had any work
Yes.
done and you don't have like the thicker skin,
Yeah.
it's a
Melanin doesn't
huge.
mean you have thick skin.
It does. We have thicker skin, don't we? That's why we keloid.
No.
Oh, here we go. Here we go with our backs.
I don't know.
I think our skin is thicker. It is. It's a thicker layer. It's thicker. It is thicker. That's why we don't wrinkle as much. It's thicker. It's
I don't
100%
know,
thicker.
but I just
But the
think-
wrinkles that you think of maybe like a 60-year-old, you see on like a 40-year-old.
Right.
It's and you're
Right.
sometimes I just look with compassion. Like, oh my god.
With compassion.
I do, because it's a big difference. I imagine what they looked like without that. Because if I'm meeting someone now in my 40s and they're in their 40s, but it looks a little different, I'm just like, I wonder what you looked like 10 years ago.
But I think what happens, like what Camila was saying, and what you had mentioned about our guest Catherine saying how, you know, once you're older, you're no longer like the sexiest or hottest person in the room. But for men, and thinking about their midlife crisis, a lot of men when they get older, even with that salt and pepper, I think that is sexy. Even bald, I think it is sexy.
But sometimes they don't.
But absolutely, but but they don't. But see, but what
I'm right about what?
It says people with melanated skin have a thicker dermis.
Yes, that layer. But what I was saying is that, you know, maybe men don't think that. They may not think, oh, that they're looking good as an older man. But what they do understand during middle age is that they now have resources. They now have a lot of things that the younger men may not have, which is very attractive to younger women.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so,
but not that peanut dysfunction.
Oh my goodness!
You can get some pills for that. That ain't no
It
issue.
doesn't mean that you'll take them.
That's true, but
it doesn't mean that they'll take them.
That's true.
The men.
Yes, the men.
But
Out
if
here,
no, the
egos is
egos
not working. You want to take some pills to make that thing
But
work.
if they're trying to
egos
pull,
that comes
if they're
with that.
trying to pull a young girl, they're gonna do what they need to do.
Exactly.
Or sometimes even just telling the doctor I need this is a struggle.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
What is it called? Viagra?
It doesn't mean everybody wants to take it.
Yes, it is. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the confidence that comes in being an older man who is successful, who is sexy, who has, you know, all his stuff together. That's very attractive to a younger woman. So they are still able to pull. Whereas, you know, I don't know that is always the case with women, that if we don't take care of ourselves,
if your boobs are sagging.
Yeah, people aren't looking at us like, ooh, you know, you're getting better with age, even though there's certain parts of me that I feel like are getting better with age.
I know what part
you
is on.
I look at pictures and I feel like, oh wow, you know, I still look good. I don't think that I look like that I look like a 51-year-old. When I thought about what a 51-year-old looked like back in the day, you know, I imagined something very different. Now,
my melanin,
absolutely, and my good
dermis,
my good genes, you know.
That
thank
too.
You to my parents, but I just think about that you don't have to go and do something crazy, but probably this is the time that you're thinking about all the things you didn't get a chance to do, especially somebody like me who's on the end of, you know, now I have 2 adult children. So now my time,
free time.
Yes, I'm going to have more time to myself to be even something as simple as in the morning. that I used to have to leave the house at 6:45 in the morning to get her to school across town, and then go. Now to be able to the luxury of being able to just get myself ready in the morning and not have to take anybody else into consideration, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, so just the freedom in that, I feel like, ooh, what am I gonna do with this extra hour? Maybe now I can get up and work out before work.
Yeah.
You know, and so just now getting back time for myself without feeling guilty about it. I'm looking forward to that stage.
Yeah.
Absolutely looking forward to that stage.
I didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, you are getting back your time, and time is so much more valuable than anything.
Yeah.
You know, when you can spend quality time on yourself.
Yes.
That's really important.
Yes. Even just little things, to have time to pack my lunch.
Yeah. And you still get to take one kid to school and have that moment. You're not completely done, but it just eased a little bit of the hustle and bustle back. So that's good.
But this last 2 weeks, my son is already out of school, so she still has school for another week. And she graduates this week. So she graduates from high school. So just so many exciting things happening for her. And I'm just preparing for the fun I'm going to be able to have in this freedom, you know, and hopefully I don't turn into a midlife crisis mama. Hopefully I don't walk in one day like
with some plastic surgery.
Yes,
and we won't recognize you, and you'll mess up your melanin.
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys are experiencing midlife crisis, tune in and tell us what it's about.
Tell us what that looks
or if
like.
your spouse has one, let us know how it's going. Cheers to summer.
Yay.
Thanks for listening. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Peace out.
Toodles.